Hollywood is buzzing after Ryan Reynolds took the stand and made a shocking courtroom apology that exposed secrets about his wife, Blake Lively, and the chaotic production of It Ends With Us. In a twist no one saw coming, Reynolds reportedly revealed behind-the-scenes details that shattered Lively's carefully curated narrative, contradicting her claims of mistreatment on set. With leaked messages, explosive accusations, and a $400 million lawsuit hanging over their heads, this scandal is turning into one of Hollywood's most jaw-dropping dramas yet. Ryan Reynolds' alleged interference. Ryan Reynolds, known for his witty charm and immense influence in Hollywood, has found himself entangled in the chaos surrounding the production of It Ends With Us. While he wasn't officially involved in the film, insiders claim his alleged interference behind the scenes caused significant tension between his wife, Blake Lively, and the film's director and co-star, Justin Baldoni. According to Baldoni, Reynolds acted as a behind-the-scenes force, often critiquing creative decisions and siding with Lively on changes to the script. Baldoni alleges that Reynolds amplified Lively's influence, particularly during disputes over the film's emotional tone and wardrobe choices. This reportedly slowed the production down, as even minor decisions required Lively's approval, with Reynolds backing her up. The drama peaked during a meeting at Reynolds and Lively's home. Baldoni suggested safety adjustments for a demanding stunt, but Reynolds allegedly viewed this as a criticism of Lively and defended her fiercely. What started as a professional discussion escalated into a heated confrontation, ultimately leading to the sequence being scrapped entirely. Adding to the controversy, Baldoni claims that Reynolds pushed for comedic elements in a story known for its emotional depth, clashing with the novel's tone. Leaked documents and text messages suggest Reynolds had a consistent role in influencing creative decisions, further straining the director-actor dynamic. Heated confrontation with Justin Baldoni. The drama surrounding It Ends With Us reached a boiling point when Justin Baldoni and Ryan Reynolds reportedly had a heated confrontation at Reynolds and Blake Lively's home. According to insiders, Baldoni had arranged the meeting to discuss stunts for a pivotal rooftop scene, but the conversation quickly turned into a fiery argument that highlighted the growing tensions behind the scenes. The conflict allegedly began when Baldoni suggested minor safety adjustments to a physically demanding stunt involving Lively. Baldoni's intention, as he claimed, was to prioritize safety and comfort during filming. However, it seems Reynolds interpreted Baldoni's suggestion as a veiled criticism of Lively's abilities, sparking an intense back and forth. Voices were reportedly raised, and what should have been a professional discussion escalated into a personal clash. Sources close to Baldoni insist that his focus was purely practical, but Reynolds, known for being fiercely protective of his wife, wasn't having it. The disagreement escalated to the point where the entire scene was eventually scrapped, further delaying an already troubled production. The confrontation is now a key part of Baldoni's $400 million defamation and interference lawsuit, with his legal team arguing that the incident exemplifies the difficult working environment created by Lively and Reynolds' alleged interference. Meanwhile, Lively's camp maintains that Baldoni's behavior was dismissive and fueled the ongoing tensions. Blake Lively's wardrobe choices. Blake Lively's wardrobe choices for It Ends With Us have become one of the most controversial talking points surrounding the film's troubled production. While playing Lily, a character from humble beginnings, Lively raised eyebrows by dressing her in extravagant designer outfits, many of which reportedly came straight from her own closet. Fans of the book were quick to call out the apparent mismatch, noting that Lily's modest background was a key part of her story. Lively insisted that her fashion-forward approach was an intentional effort to modernize the character, making her relatable to today's audiences. However, director and co-star Justin Baldoni wasn't on the same page. Baldoni claimed that the glamorous wardrobe undermined the authenticity of the story, clashing with the protagonist's original personality. This disagreement reportedly became a major source of tension on set, with leaked court filings revealing Baldoni believed the opulent styling diluted the emotional depth of the narrative. Interestingly, reports suggest Lively bypassed the film's costume designer entirely, taking full creative control over Lily's look. Critics argue that this move was driven by her desire to infuse her own style into the character, even if it didn't align with the book's vision. Baldoni, on the other hand, felt sidelined by Lively's decisions, further fueling tensions. The wardrobe debate has left fans divided. Was Lively's bold approach a fresh creative take, or did it stray too far from the source material? Regardless, it's clear that her choices have added yet another layer of drama to what was already a chaotic production. Shift in creative control. The production of It Ends With Us has been overshadowed by a significant shift in creative control, with Blake Lively allegedly taking charge in ways that clashed with director Justin Baldoni's vision. Insiders claim that tensions began when Lively, known for her meticulous attention to detail, pushed for changes to key elements of the script, the characters, and even the overall tone of the film. While Lively saw her involvement as collaborative, Baldoni reportedly felt undermined as his authority as director was increasingly challenged. One major issue was the portrayal of Lily, the protagonist. Baldoni wanted to remain true to the novel's emotionally raw and modest depiction of the character. However, Lively allegedly pushed for a more glamorous and modernized interpretation, which included her controversial wardrobe choices. According to court documents, Baldoni believed these changes diluted the story's emotional depth, a claim which Lively's team has denied, insisting her input was meant to make the character more relatable to today's audiences. The creative clash didn't stop at wardrobe. Lively reportedly rewrote portions of the script, focusing on romantic and comedic elements that she felt aligned with her personal brand. Baldoni, however, resisted these changes, arguing they disrupted the story's core themes. Adding to the chaos, rumors suggest that Ryan Reynolds, Lively's husband, also influenced decisions behind the scenes, further complicating the power dynamics. These disagreements ultimately spiraled into a full-blown legal battle, with Baldoni filing a $400 million lawsuit, claiming interference and defamation. What was once a highly anticipated adaptation has now become a cautionary tale of how creative disagreements can derail even the most promising projects. Reynolds' role in the feud. Ryan Reynolds, despite not being officially tied to It Ends With Us, is at the center of the growing tensions between Blake Lively and director Justin Baldoni. Reynolds' alleged behind-the-scenes influence has sparked accusations that he played a key role in escalating the feud. While his involvement was reportedly meant to support his wife, it seems his actions might have added fuel to the fire. Insiders claim Reynolds critiqued the film's script and provided input on comedic elements, clashing with Baldoni's vision to stay true to the emotional and raw tone of Colleen Hoover's novel. Baldoni's $400 million defamation lawsuit accuses Reynolds of amplifying Lively's creative dominance, leading to delays in decisions like finalizing the script and approving production details. According to Baldoni, Reynolds' influence made it difficult for him to maintain control over the project. One of the most explosive moments came during a meeting at Reynolds and Lively's home. Baldoni reportedly proposed safety adjustments for a challenging stunt, but Reynolds allegedly took offense, interpreting the suggestion as a criticism of Lively. The conversation escalated into a heated argument, ultimately resulting in the scene being scrapped. Reynolds is also accused of reinforcing Lively's push for wardrobe and script changes, which Baldoni claims undermined the film's authenticity. While Reynolds has remained silent publicly, his alleged actions have become a focal point of the legal battle, raising questions about whether his support for Lively crossed the line into interference. Leaked evidence against Lively. The ongoing feud between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni has taken a shocking turn with the emergence of leaked evidence that could completely shift the narrative. Baldoni's legal team has reportedly uncovered a treasure trove of text messages, voice recordings, and documents that paint a very different picture of what happened behind the scenes of It Ends With Us. While Lively alleged that Baldoni created a hostile work environment and added intimate scenes without her consent, the leaked evidence suggests otherwise. One of the most damning pieces of evidence reportedly involves text messages between Lively and Baldoni. These messages show that Lively was heavily involved in planning the romantic and emotional scenes she later criticized. In fact, She allegedly provided input on how to make certain moments more intimate, and even approved some of the now controversial additions to the script. This has raised questions about why she later claimed she was blindsided by these changes. Another shocking revelation involves the infamous topless trailer incident, in which Lively accused Baldoni of barging into her trailer while she was breastfeeding. Leaked text messages contradict this claim, showing that Lively had actually invited Baldoni to her trailer to rehearse lines, despite knowing she was pumping at the time. These revelations are fueling speculation that Lively may have exaggerated or twisted events to gain leverage in the ongoing legal battle. With Baldoni's $400 million defamation lawsuit at stake, this leaked evidence could not only damage Lively's credibility, but also reshape how Hollywood views this explosive feud. Reynolds' apology in court. Ryan Reynolds stunned Hollywood when he reportedly issued a public apology in court during the heated legal battle between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. While Reynolds wasn't formally involved in the production of It Ends With Us, his alleged behind-the-scenes role has been a focal point of Baldoni's $400 million defamation lawsuit. According to insiders, Reynolds' apology was an attempt to diffuse the growing tensions and possibly mitigate the fallout from leaked evidence. The apology came after Baldoni's legal team reportedly uncovered damning text messages and recordings showing Reynolds' active involvement in the film's production. These leaks allegedly revealed that Reynolds critiqued scripts, pushed for comedic elements, and sided with Lively during creative disputes, directly clashing with Baldoni's vision for the emotionally intense adaptation. In his court statement, Reynolds reportedly admitted that his involvement may have unintentionally contributed to the escalating tensions on set. However, the apology didn't stop there. Sources claim Reynolds also addressed the infamous confrontation at his and Lively's home, where tensions boiled over during a discussion about a physically demanding stunt. Reynolds reportedly acknowledged that his fierce defense of Lively might have been perceived as overstepping boundaries with Baldoni. Fans and industry insiders are now speculating whether Reynolds' apology was a genuine act of accountability or a strategic move to protect his and Lively's reputations amid mounting backlash. Regardless, the courtroom drama has only added more fuel to this explosive Hollywood feud, with everyone anxiously awaiting how this saga will unfold next. $400 million defamation lawsuit. The $400 million defamation lawsuit filed by Justin Baldoni against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and others has become one of Hollywood's most jaw-dropping legal battles. At the center of the chaos is the troubled production of It Ends With Us, a highly anticipated adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel. Baldoni, who was both directing and starring in the project, claims that Lively and Reynolds derailed the film's progress through alleged defamation and interference, ultimately causing significant financial and reputational damage. According to Baldoni's lawsuit, Lively's team launched a calculated campaign to frame him as unprofessional. This, he claims, included false accusations about creating a hostile work environment and adding intimate scenes to the script without her consent. However, leaked evidence suggests that Lively not only approved these scenes, but actively collaborated on them, creating a stark contradiction to her complaints. Baldoni alleges that this smear campaign scared off investors and distributors, costing him millions in potential deals. Reynolds, though not officially tied to the project, is also named in the lawsuit. Baldoni accuses him of influencing key creative decisions by backing Lively's vision, which allegedly led to delays and hindered progress on the film. Reynolds' presence reportedly intensified tensions, with Baldoni feeling sidelined in his own project. The lawsuit's staggering $400 million figure underscores the damage Baldoni claims to have suffered, both financially and professionally. With new evidence threatening to flip the narrative, this legal battle is shaping up to be as dramatic as any Hollywood script, leaving fans and insiders eagerly awaiting the next twist in this explosive feud. Taylor Swift's alleged involvement. In a shocking twist to the already chaotic It Ends With Us production drama, Taylor Swift, a close friend of Blake Lively, is rumored to have played an unexpected role in the creative disputes. According to insider whispers, Swift may have offered advice or even contributed ideas to the film's script, further complicating the growing clash between Blake Lively and director Justin Baldoni. What started as a seemingly harmless collaboration has now become a focal point in Baldoni's $400 million defamation lawsuit. Sources claim that Swift, known for her sharp storytelling and creative input, provided feedback on certain scenes at Lively's request. While this might have been intended as a friendly gesture, Baldoni reportedly felt blindsided and argued that Swift's influence undermined his creative control. The tension escalated as rumors swirled that Lively tried to incorporate Swift's suggestions without Baldoni's prior approval, leading to even more friction on set. Adding fuel to the fire, Baldoni's legal filing allegedly references external influences that disrupted the film's tone and direction, with some speculating this is a direct nod to Swift's involvement. While neither Swift nor her team has commented publicly, fans are already dissecting the possibility of her role in the feud. Was she simply trying to help her friend, or did her input unintentionally worsen the behind-the-scenes chaos? Impact on all parties. The legal battle surrounding It Ends With Us has left no one unscathed, with the fallout impacting everyone involved: Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, Ryan Reynolds, and even Hollywood itself. What began as a highly anticipated adaptation of a beloved novel has spiraled into a multi-layered feud that threatens reputations, careers, and future projects. For Justin Baldoni, the $400 million defamation lawsuit and allegations of interference have taken a massive personal and professional toll. Once celebrated for his ability to bring emotional stories to life, Baldoni now faces a cloud of controversy as his reputation is vigorously questioned. The delays and disputes have reportedly caused investors and potential collaborators to distance themselves, leaving his career in limbo while he fights to clear his name. Blake Lively, meanwhile, risks tarnishing her carefully cultivated image as Hollywood's relatable sweetheart. Allegations of control over creative decisions, wardrobe controversies, and claims of inconsistent behavior have divided fans and raised questions about her professionalism. If Baldoni's leaked evidence proves damaging, Lively's standing in the industry could take a significant hit, making filmmakers hesitant to work with her in the future. Ryan Reynolds, though not officially part of the project, isn't immune either. His alleged influence behind the scenes and involvement in creative decisions have dragged him into the spotlight. If his actions are proven to have disrupted production, his reputation as one of Hollywood's most likable stars could suffer. The ripple effects extend beyond the individuals. The chaos surrounding the project has left fans disillusioned, questioning whether the adaptation will ever see the light of day. For Hollywood, it's a cautionary tale about how creative clashes and personal drama can derail even the most promising projects.
The methodical and systematic slaughter of women by Michael Gargiulo, the boy next door killer.
This is one of the nation's most notorious crimes, and now Ashton Kutcher is one of more than 100 witnesses set to testify in the now infamous murder trial.
Famous Ashton Kutcher could be facing a murder sentence, causing a disruption in Hollywood that will leave Ascar forever.
Ashton Kutcher taking the stand, testifying against a man accused of being a Hollywood serial killer.
Hearts are shattering in disbelief, as this could be a final goodbye to the movie star. 20 years after the beautiful Ashley Ellerin was brutally murdered in her home, we thought justice had been served when serial killer Michael Gargiulo was sentenced to death for her murder. But recently, shocking new evidence has emerged, pointing to Ashton Kutcher as the real murderer. How true is Ashton? Could justice have been served to the wrong person? Join us as we explore this terrifying mystery and reveal what's really true. An unexpected crime. On the 21st of February, 2001, a dark shadow fell over California as the news of young and beautiful Ashley Ellerin's murder spread across the media. Ashley, a 22-year-old fashion design student, had her bright future stolen in a brutal act of violence. The pain and heartbreak of her loss were unbearable, leaving friends and family devastated. Ashley had just stepped out of the shower when she was viciously attacked. She was stabbed 47 times in a merciless assault, a level of brutality that shocked even seasoned investigators. The sheer savagery of the crime left everyone wondering, What could have provoked such unimaginable rage? Amid the tears and unanswered questions, the most critical one remained. Who did this? Described by those who knew her as the life of the party, Ashley was a vibrant and outgoing young woman. Her warm personality earned her many friends, and her loved ones couldn't fathom why anyone would want to harm her. Adding to the mystery, there were no signs of forced entry into her apartment. Who could have committed such a horrifying act, and how had they managed to gain access? For years, the case remained a haunting mystery, but in 2008, a shocking development in an unrelated case would finally shed light on Ashley's murder. On July 6th of that year, a man named Michael Gargiulo was arrested for the attempted murder of his next-door neighbor. She had narrowly survived by fighting him off, and investigators soon uncovered a disturbing pattern. Gargiulo had previously lived near two other women who had been killed in similarly gruesome ways.
A notorious serial killer already convicted in California, appearing in a Cook County courtroom today.
Michael Gargiulo extradited to face charges for a brutal 1993 murder in Glenview.
As authorities delved deeper into his background, they discovered a chilling connection to Ashley. Witnesses revealed that Gargiulo had interacted with Ashley in the period leading up to her death. He had reportedly been trying to pursue her romantically, but Ashley wasn't interested. This revelation changed everything. With mounting evidence, Gargiulo was charged with Ashley's murder. In 2021, after years of legal battles, he was convicted and sentenced to death. Many believed that justice had finally been served, and Ashley's loved ones could begin to find some closure. But just when the case seemed settled, new evidence emerged that has raised more questions than answers. This time, attention has shifted to an unexpected person, Ashton Kutcher. Yes, the beloved Hollywood star and heartthrob is now at the center of speculation surrounding Ashley Ellerin's murder. But how does he fit into this tragic story? To understand his connection, we need to rewind the clock to the year 2000. Ashley and Ashton first met at a friend's birthday party in Los Angeles. At the time, Ashton was in a relationship, so he introduced Ashley to one of his friends instead. When those relationships ended, Ashley and Ashton decided to explore a connection themselves. Tragically, Ashley's life was cut short before their budding relationship could go anywhere. On the night of her murder, Ashton was supposed to pick her up for a date, but the events of the night following this plan is one that have been shrouded in great mystery. To make matters worse, new evidence has prompted investigators to revisit Ashton Kutcher's role in Ashley's life and her death. Fame and crime rarely mix well, but this could be Ashton Kutcher's reality as the shocking details of Ashley Ellerin's murder resurface. Was his involvement more significant than anyone initially thought? At this point, it's important to remember how complex high-profile cases like this can become. When someone as prominent as Ashton Kutcher is involved, it's easy for the lines between fact and speculation to blur. Yet the focus remains on finding out the full truth of what happened to Ashley Ellerin and whether there's more to Ashton's connection to her than previously believed. As investigators revisit old evidence and follow new leads, the case that once seemed resolved is now unraveling in ways no one could have anticipated. Could there be more players involved in Ashley's murder? Or is this a case of misplaced suspicion aimed at a public figure? You're about to be shocked to your bones by the details. An inquiry into the truth. On the night of her gruesome murder, Ashley Ellerin had been preparing for a date. Intriguingly, this wasn't something to ignore, as it points to none other than the award-winning actor Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher acquired legions of loyal fans with his portrayal of the dim-witted Calso in the popular television series.
It was an established fact that the time of Ashley's murder coincided with her involvement in a newly blossoming relationship with the famous actor, so it wasn't strange that the pair were communicating on the day of her murder. But the matter is far from being that simple. On the night of Ashley's murder, she and Ashton had agreed that Ashton would come to pick her up for their date. Even more intriguing, Ashton has been reported as the last person Ashley spoke to over the phone before her death. There was no denying that the pair were fated to meet and be together on the night of the murder. But instead of meeting for a lovely romantic night out, what lay ahead was a tragedy that no one could have predicted. Ashley was brutally murdered in her home that same night, with no one around to help her. This left her to be in a bad position within the mystery of her death. It became a clear fact that Ashton was entangled in the narrative of Ashley's murder, but the question of what went down on the night of their planned date remains a mystery. A lingering discomfort couldn't be denied. Ashton had been at the crime scene on that fateful night, and this left a mixed and unpleasant feeling in everyone who heard the story. Speaking to the press about the situation, Ashton himself admitted to his role in the whole scenario. According to him, he was freaking out because he knew his fingerprints would be found on the doorknob of Ashley's house from that night. What really happened between Ashton and Ashley on the night of the murder? Did Ashton's presence at the crime scene mean he had something to do with her death? These questions haunted those following the case, and the mystery only grew as details unfolded. Amid the rising tensions surrounding Ashley's murder, Ashton eventually broke his silence. He confirmed that he had called Ashley shortly before her murder at 8:24 p.m. That phone call was meant to inform her that he would be late for their date. According to him, Ashley had been completely fine with it, mentioning that she had just taken a shower and still needed to dry her hair. Ashton explained that he arrived in front of Ashley's home at 10:45 p.m. He found the lights on, but the door was locked. He knocked, but no one answered, which made him think that Ashley had left with her friends after getting tired of waiting. Before leaving, however, Ashton said he had taken a peek through the window. He claimed to have seen what looked like red wine spilled on the carpet, but didn't think too much of it. He left, assuming everything was fine. Ashley's body, however, was discovered by her roommate the next morning, hours after her gruesome murder. Ashton's account left many uneasy. While his willingness to cooperate with the police helped him avoid being labeled as a suspect, it didn't stop people from questioning the role he might have played. At the time, no evidence pointed to Ashton as the murderer, but the awkward circumstances surrounding his testimony couldn't be ignored. Naturally, doubts arose. One glaring issue was Ashton's claim that he mistook blood for red wine. For many, this detail felt off. How could someone with years of life experience confuse such a crucial detail? Was it simply a careless oversight, or was there more to the story? Even if Ashton's account was genuine, his lack of attentiveness to the scene and his decision to leave without further inquiry left lingering questions. Could his actions have delayed the discovery of Ashley's murder? As this question lingers, more shocking recent revelations have arisen to make things worse. Ashton's murder accusations. In a shocking turn of events, Ashton Kutcher is now battling accusations of being involved in the murder of Ashley Ellerin. These claims have surfaced thanks to new evidence that has recently emerged, and the root of these allegations is nothing short of mind-boggling. The person spearheading these accusations is none other than Michael Gargiulo's attorney, Daniel Nardoni. Nardoni has brought attention to a detail that many believe was overlooked for years, and his case is backed by a testimony that has sent chills down everyone's spine. Ellerin's former apartment manager, an aspiring actor, has come forward with claims that have stunned the public. According to his testimony, he had been in an intimate relationship with Ellerin while she was alive. Even more shocking, he revealed that on the night of her murder, he was present in her apartment when she spoke to Ashton Kutcher over the phone. The apartment manager claims that the conversation between Ellerin and Kutcher was far from friendly. He suggested there was an argument between the two, one that hinted at serious tension. If this testimony holds any truth, it could completely contradict Ashton's account of that night. The implications are unsettling, as it raises questions about whether Ashton's version of events was a lie. But the apartment manager isn't the only one adding to the mounting suspicions. A neighbor also came forward with a chilling detail. The neighbor claims to have heard Ashley screaming not once but twice at around 8:30 p.m. on the night she was killed. This timeline is crucial, as it was just minutes after Ashton reportedly started his phone call with Ashley. If the screams were truly from her interaction with Ashton, it could suggest that their conversation wasn't as innocent as he had portrayed. Naturally, these new revelations have sparked countless questions. Could the screams have been a result of a heated argument between Ashley and Ashton? Was there more to their relationship than what the public knew? And if so, How does this fit into the larger narrative of the case? While these details are undeniably intriguing, they remain speculative. There is no concrete evidence linking Ashton to any wrongdoing, and his testimony remains consistent with the official timeline provided to investigators. Still, the significance of these claims cannot be ignored. They have reignited discussions about the case, forcing everyone to re-examine what they thought they knew about that fateful night. But you need to know that the testimony of the apartment manager and the neighbor, while unsettling, is not definitive proof of Ashton's involvement. The truth about what happened between Ashton and Ashley that night remains shrouded in mystery. It's a story filled with unanswered questions, and as much as these new revelations might seem compelling, they leave us with more speculation than clarity. For now, the resurfaced accusations and fresh testimonies have cast a new light on a case that has haunted many for years. But whether these details bring us closer to the truth or push it further away is something only time will tell. Until then, the mystery of Ashley Ellerin's tragic death continues to linger.
Instead of helping, we're taking photographs of her dying on the back seat, and then those photographs made their way back to news desks in this country.
Princess Diana, the people's princess, stepped into the royal spotlight with her marriage to Prince Charles.
Ostensibly no, but given the fact that the Princess of Wales believes that Prince Charles's friendship with another woman, Camilla Parker Bowles, has cast a long shadow over that marriage, must be considered when you look at the failure of this 11-year union.
Despite her doubts about the hasty proposal, she saw it as a way to escape her troubled family. But the royal life was anything but a fairy tale. Her marriage to Charles brought to light many secrets, and she faced unkind treatment from the royal family. Distraught by infidelity and cruelty, Diana sought revenge, only to tragically die in a car crash in 1997. Now, decades later, her son is revealing secrets about Charles. Why is he breaking his silence? Princess Diana's marriage to the royal family and the controversies that trailed her life after brought her to the limelight. But she had quite an eventful life, even before then. Let's delve into when and how it all started. Diana was born on the 1st of July, 1961, to Edward John Spencer, the Viscount Althorp, and Frances Ruth Burke Roche, who later became known as the Honorable Frances Shand Kidd. She was born as Diana Frances Spencer, and later became Lady Diana Spencer in 1975.
Above all, we give thanks for the life of a woman I'm so proud to be able to call my sister. The unique, the complex, the extraordinary and irreplaceable Diana, whose beauty, both internal and external, will never be extinguished from our minds.
After her father inherited the Earl Spencer title, her connection to the royal family is evident in her place of birth. Princess Diana was born at Park House, a home that her parents rented on Queen Elizabeth II's estate in Sandringham, England.
The former home of Elizabeth Head Gardner on her Sandringham estate can be rented for about $400 a night next February for a minimum of 3 nights.
The royal family frequently holidayed at the neighboring Sandringham House.
London. Queen Mary left Marlborough House for Sandringham, where the royal Christmas was to be spent as a family party.
And Diana played with Princes Andrew and Edward. With such a noble background, how did Diana's early life lead to her eventual fate and controversial life? Get ready for the most epic moment of the video. Diana was the youngest daughter of her parents, and she had 2 older sisters, Jane Fellows and Sarah McCorquodale, and a younger brother, Charles Spencer, 9th Earl Spencer. She had another brother, John, but he died in infancy a year before Diana was born.
From her mother's devastating loss of a baby boy,
she was never allowed to hold her first son.
Both of her grandmothers, Cynthia Spencer and Ruth Roche, were ladies-in-waiting to Queen Mother Elizabeth. After losing John, her parents were hoping for another boy to carry on the family line, and so they didn't choose a name for a week after her birth until they settled on Diana Frances after her mother and Lady Diana Spencer, a great-aunt who was also a prospective Princess of Wales as a potential bride for Frederick, Prince of Wales. Diana was also nicknamed Dooch within the family, because of her duchess-like attitude in childhood. On August 30th, 1961, Diana was baptized at St. Mary Magdalene Church, Sandringham. Despite her birth as the 3rd child and 4th born of the family, her parents still wanted a male to be their heir, and this really put a strain on their marriage, especially after Lady Althorp was sent to Harley Street clinics in London to determine the cause of her inability to produce a male heir. Her younger brother Charles would later describe this sole event as humiliating and a dreadful time for his parents. It was in fact probable that this was the root cause of their divorce.
Paul Workman now on the world's most famous couple, heading for the world's most famous divorce.
Diana was 7 years old when her parents divorced, and her mother went on to marry Peter Shand Kidd in 1969. Diana still lived with her mother in London immediately after her parents' separation in 1967. But after going on holiday to her father's home during the Christmas holiday that same year, her father, Lord Althorp, refused to let his daughter return to London. Shortly after, he won custody of Diana with the support of his former mother-in-law, Lady Fermoy. In 1976, Diana's father married Rain, Countess of Dartmouth. Their stepfamily relationship wasn't typical. Diana didn't get along with her stepmother and often called her a bully, even pushing her downstairs once. She described her childhood as very unhappy and unstable. After her father inherited the Earl Spencer title in 1975, she became Lady Diana. The family moved from Park House to Althorp, their estate in Northamptonshire. For schooling, Diana was initially homeschooled by her governess, Gertrude Allen. Later, she attended Sillafurled Private School in King's Lynn, Norfolk, beginning her formal education there. This upbringing shaped Diana's early years, marked by family tensions and transitions. Her strained relationship with her stepmother and the move to Althorp were significant events that influenced her upbringing and perspective on life. When she was 9, she moved to Riddlesworth Hall School, an all-girls boarding school near Thetford. Later on, in 1973, she joined her sisters at Westheath Girls' School in Sevenoaks, Kent. But her academics largely suffered because of her bad performance in school, which some say is probably a result of her strained childhood and her parents' divorce and remarriage, which she largely witnessed. She even failed her O-levels twice. In spite of this, Diana stood out in terms of community service, and this outstanding spirit was recognized with an award from her school, Westheath. What she lacked in academics, she made up for in community engagement. She left Westheath when she was 16, and up until that point, her brother Charles says she was a very shy young lady. She also had great skills, including her excellent musical ability as a skilled pianist.
It's a well-known story told in an unexpected way, set to music on a Broadway stage.
I choose a fresh new start.
Diana the musical is framed around the Princess of Wales' relationship with Prince Charles.
She was an excellent swimmer and diver, and she also studied ballet and tap dance. It was only academics that was not her forte. Between 1979 and 1981, Diana lived at Coleherne Court in Chelsea, London. In 1978, she started a mini-career in line with her passion for children, working as a nanny for Philippa and Jeremy Whittaker in Hampshire. She attended a finishing school in Rougemont, Switzerland for one term, but left after Easter 1978. Back in London, she shared her mother's flat with 2 friends from school. In London, Diana took an advanced cooking course and worked various low-paying jobs. She was a dance instructor for youth until a skiing accident caused her to miss 3 months of work. Then, she worked as a playgroup preschool assistant, did cleaning for her sister Sarah, and acted as a hostess at parties. She also babysat for the Robertsons, an American family in London, and worked as a nursery teacher's assistant at the Young England School in Pimlico. In July 1979, her mother bought her a flat at Coleherne Court as an 18th birthday present. She lived there with 3 flatmates until February 25, 1981. It's amazing how she got involved with Prince Charles after such an eventful life. Royal marriage, sons' births, and lingering controversies. Diana and Prince Charles met in 1977 in unusual circumstances.
The love story between Prince Charles and Lady Diana is particularly steeped in royal history, around which many rumors have surfaced up to this day.
As Charles was dating her sister Sarah, none of them could have imagined their future together. Charles thought she was jolly, and after his relationship with Sarah ended in 1978, they stayed friends. Diana attended Charles's 30th birthday party in Buckingham Palace in November 1978, and in January 1979, She met Charles again at a weekend shooting party at Sandringham as a guest of Queen Elizabeth II. Later in the summer of 1980, Diana and Prince Charles met again at a house party hosted by her friend Philip de Pass in New Grove. After observing her shy nature and wise way of speaking, Charles considered her a potential girlfriend, despite their 13-year age gap. While sitting on a bale of hay at a post-polo barbecue, Diana sympathized with Charles over the loss of his great-uncle, Lord Mountbatten. Her comforting words struck a nerve, and he decided to pursue a relationship with her.
It's always easy to be smart in hindsight, but when you look at this couple's soap opera of body language throughout their marriage and before their marriage.
Did her words make him fall in love? Don't miss the next scene where things get even more interesting. After this, Prince was keen to spend more time with Diana, and he invited her to Balmoral to join him and a group of friends there for a summer holiday. This delighted Diana in no small measure, as she was beginning to adore Charles. After meeting about 13 times, Prince Charles proposed to Diana. He was said to be largely influenced by his father, Prince Philip, who TD'd him in a memo to stop playing the field and get married. His father had said, "You either marry this girl or let her go." Being confused as ever, he took this to mean that his father wanted her to marry Diana, and he proposed to her on February 3, 1981, after a few months of dating at Windsor Castle. Diana was so surprised that she first thought it a joke, but it was real. Prince Charles was damn serious. The formal engagement press call was on February 24, 1981, when after Beijing asked by reporters if they are in love, Diana had replied with certainty while Charles had said, "Whatever in love means."